पिबं तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जनाः। Sri Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, recorded by Mahendranath Gupta, M., a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. The chapter following the Tritiya Darshan, third meeting with Sri Ramakrishna, is continuing. When M entered Sri Ramakrishna's room, Narendra, Bhavanath and other disciples sitting there, Sri Ramakrishna smiled and said, "Oi je, abar eshe chere." Ah, there he is, coming again. Boliyai hasho. And then he laughing aloud. And shobai hashite lagilo. Everybody starts laughing. Sri Ramakrishna is laughing all the time, and the laughter is an expression of the great inner joy which is constantly arising in his heart. Sri Ramakrishna lived always at the level of Anandamaya. We know the 5 layers of a human personality as described in the Taittiriya Upanishad: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. And Annamaya is the physical, and the Pranamaya, the vital, we have Kama, Krodha, etc. Manomaya, the mental thinking, logic and so on. Vijnanamaya, the intuitive. And Anandamaya, where you are at the state of the Saguna Brahman or Ishvara. This is also called the Bhava Mukha, and Sri Ramakrishna was commanded by the Divine Mother Bhavatarini Kali 3 times, Tui Bhava Mukhe Thak, Tui Bhava Mukhe Thak, Tui Bhava Mukhe Thak. Remain in a Bhava Mukha, remain in a Bhava Mukha, remain in a Bhava Mukha. Bhava Mukha is the threshold, Mukha is the threshold, the gateway between being and becoming, between the absolute and the relative, the infinite and the finite, Nirguna and Saguna, the transcendental and the immanent. So Ramakrishna was positioned always in that state of Bhavamukha, having reached the infinite and the absolute and the transcendental and the formless and qualityless Nirguna, and having realized God in all the aspects, comes back and remains always in the state of Bhavamukha, which is also the same as what Sri Ramakrishna used to call the state of a Vijnani. Vijnani, a person who has a special knowledge of God in all his aspects. Ajnani is somebody who does not know the truth, that God alone is true and the world is unreal. Jnani is a person who has realized the truth and rejects this world as unreal. Vijnani is a person who realizes the supreme truth and realizes that what you call the world is also saturated and interpenetrated, enveloped by that supreme divinity. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. And Sri Ramakrishna was a Vijnani, always remaining in the state of God consciousness. In the Upanishads and the Gita, very similar statements are available, which, when studied in the light of Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings, could be understood as the state of Vijnana or Bhava Mukha. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, the last chapter, 18th chapter, Ashtadashodhyaya, he says he gets para bhakti after Brahmajnana. Very enigmatic verse. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Egoism, ahankara, and the bala, the strength which is born of the body and the mind, darpa, arrogance, kamam, lust, krodham, anger, parigraham, giving up all this, giving up egoism, the strength of the senses and the body mind, arrogance, egoism, lust and anger. Having given up all this, he gives up ahankara and mamakara. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham nirmama shanta brahma bhuyaya kalpate. It becomes calm, tranquil, and attains Brahman. Then Brahma bhuta prasannatmana shochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. He attains para bhakti, supreme devotion. Having conquered all this, having attained Brahman, Brahma Bhuta, having become Brahman, na shochati na kankshati, it doesn't grieve, it doesn't desire anymore, its desires have completely gone. And he sees all beings as the same, samadrishti, samadarshitva, which is the highest state of realization when you see the same Brahman present everywhere. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthantam parameshwaram samam pashyanhi sarvatra samavasthitam ishwaram. The samam, the word is used in the Gita so many times, the samatva, samatvam yoga vuchyate, same-sightedness, seeing the same Brahman, the same God present in all beings in the same way. Mad bhaktim labhate param. Then after attainment of the Brahmajnana, after having attained samadarshitva, same-sightedness, he gets para bhakti, not the ordinary devotion, but the supreme devotion, para bhakti. What is the result of this para bhakti? Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktya, through this para bhakti, mam abhijanati, he knows, realizes God, the Supreme Spirit. How? Yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. Very significant phrases in the Bhagavad Gita. Tattvataha, as he actually is, truth as it is. Tattvataha yavan yaschasmi. Here the Bhashyakara Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, he realizes God both in the transcendental and the immanent aspects, in the Sopadhika and the Nirupadhika. The Supreme Being as endowed with attributes and without attributes. The absolute and the relative, the transcendental, the immanent, the infinite and the finite. He realizes God in all possible aspects. Then, Tato mam tattvato jnatva, having realized the infinitude of God in all possible aspects, transcendent and immanent and absolute and relative, nirguna and saguna, beyond qualities and with qualities, sopadhika and nirupadhika, with attributes and without attributes, vishate tadanantaram. Swami Tapasyanandaji, of very revered memory, who was my mentor, who taught me so much about the Shastras, he used to say, see how the Gita steers clear of all controversies of Advaita, Visishta Advaita, Dvaita and Bheda, etc. Whether it becomes one with Brahman, whether it remains separate from Brahman, he simply says, Anantaram tad vishate. Look at these three simple words. Anantaram, thereafter, tad, that, vishate, enters. The sadhaka enters into that. You interpret in your own way. That means he becomes Brahman. Whether he becomes one or remains separate, it's a different story. Yavan yaschasmi, meaning in all possible aspects. That is the Vijnani. Vijnani realizes the Supreme Being in all possible ways. In Saguna, Nirguna aspects and all possible aspects. He is not one-sided. He does not reject the one and takes the other. He is all-inclusive. The whole world stands before him, transformed as the supreme state of God consciousness. Sri Ramakrishna used to say very often in the Kathamrita, in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, Ram Prasad said, "A Jagat tolo dhokare tati." This whole world is an illusion, a framework of illusion. And a Vijnani replies, no, it appears as dhokare tati, framework of illusion in the beginning, but ultimately it is majarukuti. It is a mansion of mirth and joy. Khai dai majaluti. Here I eat and drink and make merry. Not sensual enjoyment, but the enjoyment of God. In and through all the senses I experience and enjoy only the God consciousness. Ena rupam rasam gandham shabdan sparshascha maithunan etenaiva vijanati kimatra parisishyate etadvaitat. Kathoparishad. That through which ena we see, we talk and we smell and we hear and even enjoy sensual pleasures, that through which all this happens is that supreme state, the supreme Brahman, and you are that Atman or Brahman. Without the Atman, nothing is possible. No experience is possible. Shankara says in the Kathopanishad, one place in the Bhashya, Tad Atmana vinirmuktam asat sampadyate. If the Atman is eliminated, removed, asat sampadyate, everything becomes asat. It becomes zero. Sri Ramakrishna's famous example, you add 0 and 0 and 0, whole thing is only 0. If you put 1 before it, the entire thing becomes invaluable and huge. That 1 is the Atman, God or Brahman. So in and through the Atman, you enjoy this world. Then it is no longer enjoyment of the senses, it is floating in the bliss of the ocean of Brahman. Majarukuti. Anantaram tad vishate, he enters into divine state of consciousness or being, which is the state of Anandamaya, after having reached the state beyond Anandamaya, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, go beyond that, then come back and remain in the state of Bhavamukha Anandamaya. The Taittiriya Upanishad exhorts, Etadannamayamatmanamati kramya, etad pranamayamatmanamati kramya. He goes on beyond all this. Then, etad anandamayamatmanamati kramati, goes beyond even Anandamaya. All the desires are gone, it becomes completely saturated with the Brahman, and he could stay for the good of the world in the state of Bhavamukha, as in the case of avatars. Or he can merge in Brahman and get lost. But the avatars remain in the state of Anandamaya so that they share with us the bliss of the infinite knowledge of Brahman. To be in the company of an avatara, company of a God-man, company of a person who has realized the highest truths in all possible aspects, and out of compassion, Maha Karuna comes and lives at the state of Bhavamukha as Anandamaya, is a great blessing for all of us. We are now in the company of such an avatara. When we are studying this great book, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, we are enjoying the company of the avatara, who, having transcended the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, realizing the highest truth beyond all the 5 cells, or in the paradigm of the Shatchakra, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya and Sahasrara merging, and comes back mysteriously by the will of the divine and remains in the state of Agnya Chakra, which is the state of Anandamaya, which is the state of Ishvara, which is the state of Bhavamukha, which is the state of a Vijnani. This is the philosophical underpinning of Shakalar Hashya. Sahasya always smiling and laughing, the deep philosophical significance and spiritual content of this laughter is that he was in the state of Anandamaya. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, a peacock was fed with a little opium at a particular time, and the next day, exactly at that time, the peacock came back, drawn by the intoxication of the opium. Then M was so charmed by this illustration, then he soliloquizes. He thinks to himself, Master mane mane bhavitechen, ini thik kothai bolitechen. বাড়িতে যাই কিন্তু দিবানিশি ইহার দিকে মন পড়িয়া থাকে, কখন দেখিব, এখানে কে যেন টেনে আনলে, মনে করলে অন্য জায়গায় যাওয়ার জো নাই, এখানে আসতেই হবে. See, look at this one statement. Lifelong meditation is required to understand the power of attraction of the avatara. All of us have felt this pull to some extent, even infinitesimally, or else all of you would not be here listening to this discourse, and I wouldn't be here talking about Ramakrishna Kathamrita. Somewhere you are being drawn. You can't be otherwise. You have to come. You have to sit before the your laptops or whatever, and then listen to this discourse in the Ramakrishna Kathamrita. Somebody is pulling you, as it were, which is the power of the avatara. This is called akarshana. Karsha means to draw, to pull. From there comes Krishna. Krishna, a person who pulls, who attracts, who draws. A person who draws the minds of all people, the chitta, towards himself is called Krishna, and he is Rama Krishna. A Rama, person Ramate, a person who is always joyful, Ramadhatu. Joyfully drawing the minds and hearts of all the people in the world, all the beings in the world, is Rama Krishna. So M says, I went home, but day and night I'm thinking only of him. When will I go again? When will I go again? When will I see him again? Even if I want to go elsewhere, there is no possibility of my mind being drawn away from him. Some divine, irresistible attraction, is it where, is pulling me towards this divine personage. This is the blessing of bhakti. When you just see him, you simply fall in love, the divine love, selfless love, pure love, and you are permanently caught there. There's a beautiful song composed by Swami Premeshananda and Ramakrishna. He says, Je here she jana tanu prana mana charane arpana karite chai. Je here, a person who sees you, she John, that person, just by seeing you, mana prana mana, tanu prana mana, his body, his mind and senses and the prana, everything, he longs to offer everything at your sacred feet. Just seeing him simply makes you completely captive. That is the power of bhakti. Where will I go? What will I do? The gopis, bhakti is often talked about. They just couldn't see anything except Krishna. When the flute of Krishna's melody reached them, melody of Krishna's flute reached them, they just couldn't control themselves. Irresistible was the urge, the pull. It is described in the Bhagavatam. Somebody was suckling the child, somebody was feeding the husband, somebody was wearing the clothes. Simply they ran like mad, leaving everything at that very point. When God calls you, you can't tarry for a moment and say, oh God, wait for some time, I'll come, I have some work. You ask Yama to wait, but not God. So wonderful songs by Ram Prasad and others. When Yama comes, when the god of death comes to take you, you say, oh Yama, oh, you come to take me? Wait for some time. I have some great work to do. What is that work? I want to call on Mother Shama, the Divine Mother, with all my heart. I want to pour my heart's love and sing her glory and call on her. Don't take me away so easily. Stop now. That is the power of bhakti. He is now dictating the Yama and thrashing Yama not to come near. Dada re shaman আর কিছুক্ষণ আমার কিছু কাজ আছে বাকি হৃদ মাঝারে শ্যামা বিরাজে হৃদ মাঝারে শ্যামা বিরাজে প্রাণ ভরে তাকে ডাকি দাঁড়া রে সমান আর কিছুক্ষণ আমার কিছু কাজ আছে বাকি. Ram Prasad. So much of boldness and power. Hey, Yama, god of death, stop now, don't come near me. I have some work to do still remaining. What is that? The Divine Mother Kali, the luminous being who is illumining my heart. I want to sing her glory with all my heart, full throated. I want to call upon her. Don't touch me now. So you have that power. Irresistibly you are drawn. You can't tarry for a moment. The same story in the life of Christ, Jesus the Christ. Simon later on became Saint Peter. He was a fisherman. He got so irresistibly attracted to Jesus. And he saw Jesus, his farm, his calmness, his purity, his extraordinary spiritual personality which can charm and pull evolved jiva irresistibly. Jesus calls him, Simon, son of Jonas, I have need of thee. I need you now for my ministration, for my work. Like Sri Ramakrishna called upon Swami Vivekananda, the Naren, Ami Jakshi tumakeo jete habe. I am going, you also should come after me, should follow me. Simon, son of Jonas, I have need of thee. Then Simon knelt down humbly and said, O Lord, what can I do? I am only a poor fisherman. Then Christ smiles and says, Thou shalt remain a fisherman always, but henceforth thou shalt fish for men. What a significant statement. You will not catch ordinary fish anymore. You will catch men and women who are spiritually minded, who are seeking God, genuine seekers and aspirants, and bring them to me, the Avatar. Thou shalt fish for men. Jesus calls from a distance, Simon, follow thou me. Simon's father was just dead at that time. He replies, Just wait for a moment, O Lord, I shall bury my father and come. Christ's significant answer, the deep philosophical significance and spiritual significance of this we can understand after reading texts like the Gospel of Ramakrishna, and this a statement of the irresistible urge about which M talks. Then Christ says, Let the dead bury the dead, follow thou me. You have no time. God calls and that's it. You can't tarry for a moment. He said, Father is dead, I understand. Let the dead bury the dead. Follow thou me. So he says here, মনে করলে অন্য জায়গায় যাওয়ার জো নেই, এখানে আসতেই হবে। এখানে কে যেন টেনে আনলে, as it were somebody who knows who is pulling me. There is irresistible pull and an urge to come here. Even if I want, I can't go elsewhere. I have to come here. Come unto me, ye that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give thee rest. Christ said, this is the promise of the Avatara. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja, aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Giving up all the dharma and adharma, surrender unto me, and I shall rescue you, remove all sins, blemishes, and rescue you from this world of mortality. Ramachandra, Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmi Diyachate Abhayam Sarva Bhutebhyo Etad Vratam Mama. Even once if somebody comes and tells me I am yours, Abhayam Sarva Bhutebhyo Dadami, I give freedom, I give fearlessness to every being. That is my vow as a vrata, as an avatara. এইরূপ ভাবিতেছেন ঠাকুর এদিকে ছোকরাগুলির সহিত অনেক ফষ্টি নষ্টি করিতে লাগিলেন, যেন তারা সমবয়স্ক। হাসির লহরী উঠিতে লাগিল, যেন আনন্দের হাট বসিয়াছে। Go to that place. Now close your eyes and imagine that you are all in that company. All of us are sitting in the company of Sri Ramakrishna in that small room at Dakshineshwar in the company of Naren, Bhavanath and teenagers, and Sri Ramakrishna is having fun and frolic with them, and the divine love and divine bliss is flowing everywhere as if a market of joy has descended on earth in that little room. Feel your presence there. Meditate on this. Contemplate this. This is the beauty of this book. Anandir heart boshiyache. This world is so full of sorrow, so much of peacelessness, joylessness, so much of misery and sorrow, so much of depression, unhappiness, particularly for the couple of years, the pandemic and people feeling lonely, unhappy, depressed, without any company. Here is the elixir, here is the remedy, here is the vaccine. Which permanently is a solution for the virus of depression, virus of sorrow. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Vishada depression, and that is completely eliminated. The company of Sri Ramakrishna is embodiment of Ananda, Ananda Swarupa, the divine joy, not the sensual pleasure. Mojlo amar manu bhramara Shama pada nil kamale Shama pada nil kamale Kali pada nil kamale Mojlo amar manu bhramara. O bee of my mind, sip that great elixir and nectar from the lotus of Mother Kali's feet. All the ordinary little pleasures of the world, Vishaya madhu tuchha holo Kamadi kusum Sokale Majlo amar Manu Pramora. Kamalakanta. Sri Ramakrishna was so fond of this song. All the ordinary little sensual pleasures of this world will simply vanish, meaningless. They become stupid, tinsel, trash in lust and greed and all that. Leave it. You have the infinite joy of the nectar of the lotus feet of Mother Kali. So Anandir heart বসিয়াছে। মাস্টার অবাক হইয়া একটু অদ্ভুত চরিত্র দেখিতেছেন। So what kind of personage he is? The other day he was talking highly spiritual things, suddenly goes into samadhi, completely oblivious of the external surroundings, immersed in the infinite joy of Brahman and floating in the bliss of the ocean of Brahman. And this person once again having fun and frolic with all these little teenagers as if they are his peers. What is a strange man? ভাবিতেছেন ইহারি কা পূর্ব দিনে সমাধি অদৃষ্ট পূর্বে প্রেমানন্দে দেখিয়াছিলাম. Is he the person in whom I saw the Premananda, infinite joy of the love of God, immersed in samadhi? সেই ব্যক্তি কি আজ প্রকৃত লোকের ন্যায় ব্যবহার করিতেছেন? Is he the person who is behaving today just like an ordinary person, having fun with his little children? ইনি কি আমার প্রথম দিনে উপদেশ দিয়াছিলেন, তিরস্কার করেছিলেন? Is he the person who taught me on the first day and then chided me, "Ar tumi gyani," and you are a man of knowledge, and who crushed my egoism? ইনি কি আমায় তুমি কি জ্ঞানী বলেছিলেন? ইনি কি শাখা নিরাকার দুই সত্য বলেছিলেন? Is he the same person who taught me the wisdom that God with form and God without form are the same entity? ইনি কি আমার বলেছিলেন যে ঈশ্বরই সত্য, সংসারে সমস্তই অনিত্য? Is he the person who taught me that God alone is real and all that is in the world is non-eternal, ephemeral and transient? ইনি কি আমায় সংসারে দাসীর মতন থাকতে বলেছিলেন? Is he the person who taught me to remain in the world as a servant maid in a rich man's house? Is there a calling, like a flashback? It's a huge drama or a cinema going on, and we are also enjoying and participating in the cinema of Sri Ramakrishna Avatara Leela. So looking at Sri Ramakrishna today, laughing and joking and full of fun and frolic with teenager boys and children as if they are his peers. And the flashback, his mind goes, what do I see before me? This man who went into samadhi completely lost in God consciousness, full of joy, Premananda, in the joy of divine love, and he chided me, saying that you are a man of knowledge, and crushed my egoism. He told me to remain in the world like a unattached servant maid in a rich man's house. Like a flashback, he's seeing one by one, scene after scene comes to him with the previous day and the earlier occasions in which he met Sri Ramakrishna, and he sees him there. This is the beauty of Bhavamukha. This moment is in the infinite God consciousness in samadhi. Next moment is in the world as behaving like an ordinary person, because he is in the state of Bhavamukha, is in the state of Ishvara, in the state of Vijnani, in which the infinite and the finite, the absolute and the relative, the transcendental and the immanent have no borders. There's a seamlessly he can move between these two worlds of the infinite and the finite, the absolute and the relative. Seamlessly and happily he can move around. This is what M is experiencing, being a very, very keen observer and an extraordinarily evolved spiritual person as a Parshad of Sri Ramakrishna. Immediately he understands what kind of mood Sri Ramakrishna is in. ঠাকুর শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ আনন্দ করিতেছেন ও মাস্টারকে এক একবার দেখিতেছেন. See, every little statement and the gesture of Sri Ramakrishna you enjoy. Think of this Leela. Close your eyes and say Sri Ramakrishna is Ananda Kuritechen, is full of joy, making fun with his little children. Not high spiritual talk, all kinds of worldly, so-called worldly talk, but in this case the world itself is transformed into Brahman. There is no difference between the world and Brahman, the absolute and the relative, the infinite and the finite. So Ananda Kuriteshan, he is in full of mirth and joy. Master ke ek bar dekhitechen. Now one then is looking at the master who is seriously watching everything. Some people are very, very serious in spiritual life. You should not laugh, you should not do this. And when everybody is enjoying the music and everybody is laughing, and then you say, yogis are like that. Jnanis have so much of joy they don't express, but bhaktas are full of joy. Swami Turiyanandaji was a yogi of the highest type, but a bhakta also. All his disciples are bhaktas, jnanis and yogis in one. Once he called one brahmachari, later he became Swami Gyaneshwarananda. He was the founder of the Chicago Mutt Vedanta Society. He was full of joy, making jokes and fun all the time. Once he called him and chided him severely. What? Always laughing and moving around? What have you realized in life that you can be so frivolous, so carelessly laughing and moving around? That brahmachari also was extremely intelligent. He simply kept quiet. Then with folded hands he said, Maharaj, will you allow me to make a statement? What is that? If you read the Kathamrita, the Gospel, you just get the opposite picture. Sri Ramakrishna is so full of fun and frolic and dancing and singing and so joyful. Then Swami Turiyananda's entire face underwent a great change, with tears in his eyes, and said, yes, you are right. We have never seen Sri Ramakrishna in any mode of morose and unhappy mode. He is full of joy. Now go, come and rejoice, go. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, the Christ says in the Bible. Be extremely happy. You are in the company of the Lord. You are in the company of God. Always keep the company of God. You will be full of joy. Practice the presence of God. Brother Lawrence taught this. Wherever you are, whatever you do, in whatever condition, always know that you are in the presence of God. You are sleeping in His presence, you are eating in His presence, you are talking in His presence, you are moving in His presence, you are laughing in His presence, you are crying in His presence, you are singing in His presence. His presence never leaves you. What is that presence? The presence is full of joy and divine love, ecstasy, mirth, not the sensuous mirth, but godly, ecstatic joy. You are in His presence. And Sri Ramakrishna remaining always in the Anandamaya, in the Bhavamukha, so full of joy in His presence, how can you be without any joy? Rejoice and be exceeding glad. This is a lesson that all of us should take home. We are the children of Sri Ramakrishna. Remain in His presence all the time. How? By contemplation, meditation, and study of books like the Kathamrita, where you describe vividly scene after scene of Sri Ramakrishna remaining so joyful and happy and elevating the minds of all those in His presence. Practice the presence of Sri Ramakrishna. That is the lesson. एक बार मास्टर के देखी देछेन. Now and then he is looking at the master. দেখিলেন তিনি অবাক হইয়া বসে আছেন. M is completely dumbfounded. He can't speak. Speechless. He is watching the scene of Sri Ramakrishna making so much fun with his teenage boys. That person who was in great ecstatic samadhi, who was in a mart of joy, that person who was in the Premananda, the love of divine ecstasy, that person now is like a little child is moving and playing with these little boys, teenage boys, and having so much fun. he can't reconcile how these two personalities can coexist, because he did not know at that time Sri Ramakrishna, the divine avatar living in Bhavamukha, as a Vijnani. Avak huiya boshiya chen. Sri Ramakrishna making fun again. Takhon Ramlal ke সম্বোধন করিয়া Sri Ramakrishna বলিলেন, দেখ এর একটু উমের বেশি কিনা, তাই একটু গম্ভীর. His every statement is so full of fun. Umer, it means age. In Hindi we call it Umar. And he's making fun of this word, Umer Beshikina, that means slightly more aged than these boys. They are teenage boys. Master Mahashaya is past his teenage, slightly older. Umer Beshikina, Tayek to Gambhir. Usually those who are slightly aged, when the children are making fun, etc., they don't participate in that. They sit in a corner and seriously watch. Sometimes very serious, sometimes they may smile a little. With great difficulty, they may smile. The moment the person becomes older, slowly he loses his capacity to be able to smile and laugh. Always remain like a child. See, remember our old days when we were children, so full of fun and joy and moving here and there, not a moment of dullness or depression. Where did this depression come from? Kotastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam? The question which was asked of Arjuna, the first sentence which the Bhagavan spoke, "O Arjuna, where from has this depression come to you in this terrible moment of war? We were children, so happy, so joyful. Where from this depression and unhappiness come to us? Where that point, what point did we lose our innocence and joy? And at what point did we inherit this joylessness?" Think about this. Go back to your childhood. Remain like a child of God in the presence of Sri Ramakrishna. And like an innocent baby, play and joyfully laugh. Umer Beshikina, Tai Iktu Gambhir. He is slightly aged and therefore is somewhat serious. এরা এত হাসি খুশি করছে কিন্তু এ চুপ করে বসে আছে. These boys, these teenage boys, Narendra Bhavanath and others, are making so much of fun and laughing and so joyful, but he is very quiet, watching and so serious. মাস্টারের বয়স তখন 27 বছর হইবে, 27 years old, compared to Narendra and the others who are the teenagers, slightly more aged. Even now we can see, even young boys and girls have lost the power of being joyful in something which is holy, divine, elevating. Not in sensual pleasures. Sensual joy is only sorrow. Eta samsparshaja bhoga dukkayonaya evate adyantavanta kunte yanateshu ramate buddha. Samsparshaja bhoga, the Bhagavad Gita says, that which is the joy, pleasure coming out of contact, contactual pleasure. You touch somebody, you hug somebody, and you talk to somebody, you listen to some voices which are very pleasant. Then you get some kind of a joy, some kind of a thrill, some kind of a pleasure, which is samsparshaja bhoga. The Bhagavad Gita says, ja, janita, samsparsha, contact, samsparsha janita bhoga, the contactual pleasure. What is that? Dukkha yonaya evate. These are the sources of sorrow. Why? Adyantavanta kaunteya. They have a beginning and an end. And therefore they are full of sorrow. And nateshu ramate buddhaha. A person of wisdom, a person of discernment between the real and the unreal, a person endowed with viveka, he doesn't rejoice in that kind of pleasures, that kind of joy. Now the corona has robbed us, people say, of our real joy. We can't contact people, we can't touch people, we can't hug people, we can't accept seeing people online, we can't even physically meet and talk to them. How long will this continue? Because we clamor for and crave contactual pleasure. But the real joy is the joy which comes from within without contact. This is called Asparsha Yoga. The Mandukya Karika by the Gaudapada Acharya, on the Mandukya Upanishad, he says is the word Asparsha Yogo Vainama. This is the yoga of non-contact. Non-contactual yoga. Because there is no sparsha. Sparsha can be there only when there are two. Here there is only one. Here there is only one, and therefore there can't be any contact of one with the other. So he says, Master is about 27 years old and is looking on seriously. Katha kohite kohite Parama Bhakta Hanumaner Kotha Uchilo. The conversation went on and the talk turned to Parama Bhakta Hanuman Mahavir. Swami Vivekananda placed him as the ideal before the youth, who combined in himself tremendous devotion to Ramachandra, absolute implicit obedience, surrender, but not servility, but so much of power. He had power, he had strength because he felt strong in the strength of Rama. Be strong in his strength. Don't be strong in the strength of your senses, your body and mind. That I have a strong body, I have a muscular body, I am great intellectual. Your intellect, your physique and your senses, all of them will completely betray you at some point of time. Be strong in the strength of God. Hanuman was strong because Ramachandra's strength was with him. How he went to the Ravana's court and displayed his superiority, because he was fearless. I have Rama with me, I have God with me, why should I fear anybody? Everything is tuchha, meaningless, tinsel, trash before the Supreme Being which I carry in my heart. A real bhakta, devotee of God, will not fear anybody. Why should I fear anybody? I am the Supreme Being. You can see ordinarily people trying to please their bosses. Everywhere you can see. The moment you see any conversation anywhere, they will try to please the superior, please the boss, please those who are in power, and they feel safe while pleasing them because they themselves are so weak that they think the strength comes from the boss, and the boss, after getting all the stuti, all the praise, will completely throw him out and ditch him. We see it happening every day. But there's one person from whose strength you should feel strong, is the Supreme Being, he is the source of all strength. Tejosi tejomayi thehi, balamasi balammayi thehi, ojosi ojomayi thehi, viryamasi viryammayi thehi. This is the prayer. O Lord, you are the embodiment of infinite strength. Grant strength unto me. You are the embodiment of infinite prowess and power. Grant prowess and power unto me. You are the embodiment of infinite courage. Grant courage unto me. So he is the embodiment of all this. and being his child, you inherit all the qualities of your ancestors, your father, your mother. Swamiji taught this. A bhakta, a true devotee, will be so powerful and strong. A bhakta is not a person who weeps and cries all the time in the name of bhakti. He smiles and laughs, dances. He is so happy, carefree, and extremely strong and powerful because he derives his power from God. Swamiji writes one letter. Don't be weak, don't cry. Kinnama rodisha sakhe tvai sarva shakti amantrayasya bhagavan bhagadam swarupam trailokyameda rakhilam tava padamule atmaiva hi prabhavate na jadak kadachi. As is a martial song. Kinnama rodisha sakhe tvai sarva shakti amantrayasya bhagavan bhagadam swarupam. Why are you weeping, my friend? Kinnama rodisha sakhe. Come on, wake up. Trailokyameda rakhilam tava padamule. The entire world, all the three worlds will be at your feet because you are the infinite Atman, infinite spirit. This Atman alone will ultimately triumph and be victorious. All power is in you because you are the Atman and you are connected to the source of power, which is the Supreme Being. Draw from that source all the time and be powerful. Not powerful intellectually, physically, morally, but powerful spiritually. Intellectual, moral, all the other things will come later following spirituality. You are that spirit. In the language of bhakti, this is language of jnana. In the language of bhakti, it is the same thing. Substitute Ishvara for Atman, you get the bhakti language. Swamiji's this poem. Kurmastaraka charvanam tribhuvanam utpatayamo balat kimbho na vijanasyasman Ramakrishna dasavayam. We will crush all the stars to powder, pulverize them, crush all the stars to atoms, to smithereens. Kurmastaraka charvanam tribhuvanam utpatayamo balat. Forcefully we will unhinge the entire universe and throw them aside. Kimbho na vijanasyasman. Oh, you do not know who we are? Ramakrishna dasavayam. We are the servants of Sri Ramakrishna. Have this feeling all the time. Don't be depressed. Whenever depressions come, what? We are the children of Sri Ramakrishna, who is the embodiment of infinite power, infinite glory, infinite prowess. Shadbhaga, Bhagavan. Joy, infinite pure bliss. Why should I be depressed? Why should I be unhappy? Why should I feel powerless? Kimbho na vijanasyasman. Don't you know who we are? We are the children of Ramakrishna. We are the servants of Ramakrishna. These are the great benefits which come when you read such texts and meditate and contemplate and associate them with what is said in the Upanishads and the Gita and the teachings of Swami Vivekananda and others, Holy Mother Sharada and others, and you feel a new strength has come to you, new power is flowing through you, and with tremendous enthusiasm, once again you sit for meditation, contemplation, elevate your life, make your life divine. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints in the sands of time. Longfellow's famous poem, The Psalm of Life. These great lives constantly inspire us. We can also live a sublime divine life. By the grace of Ramakrishna, let us live a life of purity, holiness, truthfulness, unselfishness, and God consciousness. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.